And what's going on, you guys? What is going on? What is going on? This be your boy, Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new episode of Yes for the Mess, where we talk about celebrity gossip, hot topics, and all things reality TV based. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, and I am doing the exact same thing. What is going on, you guys? Like, listen, when you get you a little bit of what is it? What's the name of the song? When you get some cut, you feel good in the morning. And that's how I feel in the morning. Well, it ain't the morning no more, but that's how I feel right now because it was a good little thing or whatever. So yeah, I feel good. So I am having a good Tuesday. However, Love and Hip Hop Miami. I watched it earlier, but after I watched it, I fell flat foot asleep. So what's gonna happen with Love and Hip Hop Miami? I think that the season finale is next week. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do what I did a week or two ago. I'm gonna put this week's episode and the finale on one video, and that's how we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap up Love and Hip Hop Miami like that. I think Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, it comes on tonight. So my live is already set up for that. So be on the lookout for that. And then, their finale is also next week. So after Love and Hip Hop Miami and Atlanta, the only shows that I have to review after that's over is Housewives of Atlanta, Basketball Wives, and Chasing Dallas. Them the only shows I got to review after that. So now we're going into that. We're going into that dry period where things kind of slow down for a second. That's where we at. So yeah, but it's okay. Like, that gives me more time to do more things and stuff like that, y'all. But I got a story time for y'all, but I'm probably gonna do it one day this week. You know what I mean? Probably gonna be tomorrow because we don't have the whether you like it or not Beverly Hills panel on tomorrow. So we'll probably do something tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I start my videos off at the 5 minute mark anyhow. Scotty, have you watched the Never Ever Mets? It's a Kiki. No, I have not, but T has been wanting me to watch that. He been trying to tell me to watch it, but I just ain't never been interested in it. But T and JoJo, they be watching it. We be in our group chat talking about it, and they are into it. They're even doing a panel on this, as a matter of fact. It's gonna be T, JoJo, and I think Chloe Johnson gonna be doing a panel. And y'all know I love me some Chloe Johnson. So they'll be doing a panel together on the Never Ever Mets type of thing. The Never Ever Mets. So y'all will be able to see them do that. I still got a whole bunch of edible left. A lot of edible left. Let me see. I can't wait for you to drag Georgia Brown by her edges. Let me tell y'all something. I'm not even finna do this whole interview. Let's be clear. I started it off at the 38-minute mark because this interview was like 2 hours long, and y'all know we got Love and Hip Hop to review. So I ain't even finna start. I ain't gonna start at the top. I'm starting right in the middle, which is what we want to start at. Which is we gonna start off with the shit we want to talk about. Okay, that's what we gonna start off with. We not finna start off with no bullshit. That's how I feel because I already watched the interview. I watched this interview earlier today before I left to go to my meeting at my job today because I was off. But that's a whole nother story. That's a part of my story time. I ain't want to go to that damn meeting. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna start it off at like the 30-minute mark. That's what we started off at. But right now we're headed into the 5 minute mark. So that's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now it's time for us to go ahead and get into this interview with Carlos King. And I already knew when I saw them doing the interview with Carlos King, I said the Scotty gang gonna ask for it. Let me go on, lay up in this bed, take a picture of my damn TV, and let them know that I'm watching it. Okay, let them know that I'm watching it. I'm looking at it, and I'm sure I know what they want. I know what my Scotty gang people want. Now, when it comes to dragging them off, I already know that that's what they want. That's what they want. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it, you guys. Okay. Now, we're at 100 people already. So let's go ahead and get into it. As I stated, We are not going to start at the beginning. We're going to start this interview at the 31-minute mark because this is where this is the part that we really care about. We don't care about shit else. So let's go ahead and get into it, you guys.
Not like some fake Hollywood Atlanta shit, like some real shit. No. And that's the reason why, look, I wanted you two to come on because I see everything happening on social media. I love the fact that you two don't give a fuck, but I do see a lot. And the reason why I'm like, I can only do so much when it comes to my personal conversation with people in the streets. Like, is Rasheeda that stupid? Is Kirk really whatever? I wanted to invite you two to just address anything you want to address. So doing Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta. Obviously, it was an opportunity for me to work with Mona and to do something in the city. And when I learned you two were joining, I was like, this is going to be crazy.
Right.
And what made you guys decide to do that? Because you two lived a very private, fruitful life. And do you regret doing the show?
I definitely don't regret it. I don't regret anything because in every situation, there's learning lessons and it builds character. And, I don't like to live my life with regrets. Even when
it's clear that you don't regret being on this show, and it's clear that you don't live your life with no regrets, because most people would ask you, do you regret marrying Kirk? And you don't regret it. You say that's still your best friend. You don't know what you'll ever do without him from the beginning to the end. He's always been here right beside you, so you call his cheating ass your best friend. But so we know you don't have no regrets. But let's continue.
When it comes to like certain things that happen, and I'll be like, why? Then I'll be like, you know what, Lord, teach me. You know what I'm saying? Amen. Teach me, please. Amen. And let me grow from this. But no, I don't regret it at all, because what I will say is this. One thing that people have to understand is going into Love and Hip Hop, we had no clue it was going to become like a cultural phenomenon at all. Like, it was green. Like, for real. And one thing about us, though, is like, the music industry, we have been doing that for such a long time, and we looked at it as an opportunity to try to elevate, as a springboard for us. We went into it with a plan. And that's one thing that I tell all these people who try to join onto this franchise, because everybody's always like, we like Kirk and Rasheeda, contrary to what people think. And everybody comes to us for advice. And I tell everybody all the time, don't let this bullshit overshadow your end goal and what it is you need to do. If you don't have a disciplinary bone in your body, this ain't going to be the one for you, because you're going to easily get distracted the wrong direction. Go into this shit with a plan and execute it. And that's exactly what him and I did. Like, we sat there and we said, okay, if we're going to do this, because in order to be a millionaire, what you need 7 streams of income, right? Okay. So we looked at this television opportunity also because we're thinkers. And at the time when Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was coming, we was like, reality TV about to be the shit. We better get on this boat while we can.
Friends who did it.
Yes, because of course, with Candy, I'm sitting here with her, talking to her about Housewives. Like, girl, you better do that. When she got the call, I was right there with her. Like, I'm like,
yeah, we was right there.
Yeah,
because her and Rasheeda was on the road. They did Peach Candy.
We were a group.
Candy wound up coming back on the road, entering the music, because we was booked every weekend with the mixtapes and doing the stuff. So Candy came with us and started coming on the road with us.
Yeah.
So wait, so you and Candy were in a group?
Yeah, we had a group called Peach Candy. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Song on the
This
radio
was prior to reality TV, baby.
Carlos King, if you've been friends with them for all this time, how could you not know that they had this damn group that was never gonna go nowhere called Peach Candy? Like, they was doing all kinds of songs together and stuff like that. Even back then, I was like, now Candy, why are you doing songs with Rasheeda? And this was before Love and Hip Hop even came along, because I just never seen it for Rasheeda as a rapper, but I definitely don't see it for her as a person with her being on Love and Hip Hop. But that's another story. Let's continue.
Neither one of us were on television.
Wanted to sign it. It was 3 of us. It was me, Candy, Don Vito, and Rasheeda, 4 of us, right? Yep. And we all were like, Pharrell wanted to do the deal. Don Vito didn't want to do the deal. So it was in the middle of a tug of war.
Pharrell, as in Pharrell Williams?
Yes. The song was in rotation and he wanted to do the deal. And we had a partner who didn't want to do the deal at the time. So it was like Candy and Vito and me and Rasheeda, and Candy's very supportive. Candy is a real G, because Candy come with her money like a dude. Because I respect.
I got that coin now.
Every time we needed to pay for something, Candy had no slack, no she come like a dude with the bag, right? So I loved her for that because I was like, I wish you was my sister in real life. You do stuff like I do it. And you know, I love the fact that she handles her business like that. So
but yeah,
Peach Candy. I probably Peach Candy song's probably gonna start blowing up because they right at that point where people starting to listen to them. So
that's insane. Because so you decided to do Love and Hip Hop, you did the show. Let's have a real conversation.
Okay.
Every time he say let's have a real conversation, it's always a fake conversation. Every time he say let's have a real conversation, it's a fake conversation. I just want y'all to know it's never a real conversation. It's always some bullshit in the game. And I'm finna tell y'all right now, Carlos King, I would love to be friends with you. You want to know why I would love to be friends with you? Because you're gonna blow smoke up my ass, even though you know that I'm whack as fuck and that I'm full of shit. You're gonna continuously blow smoke up my ass and say yes to every piece of bullshit I put out there. You're gonna automatically say, yes, honey, yes. You're the king, and I know that you're full of shit, but to the people, you're full of shit. But to me, you're the king, and you don't do nothing wrong. That's what he was doing this whole interview, just to let y'all know. He was just putting them on a damn pedestal this whole damn interview. Now, what I'm not saying is, I ain't saying that he got to sit up here and dog their ass out the whole damn interview, because that's not exactly what I wanted, you know, because I'm an interviewer. You know, I interview people. So when I interview people, I don't do all that. Although I do hold them to task and I call them out on their shit, I don't just dog their ass either. But at the same time, it's kind of like this. Like, stop blowing smoke up their ass. You know they look trifling and they look like complete idiots. You know that. But of course you're not going to say that, Carlos. But yes. Hey, raindrops, all that bullshit, child. But anyway, but I like Carlos. Don't get me wrong. I like Carlos. Shit, I'll give Carlos the business. But he get on my nerves. And I just got to say that sometimes. But go ahead.
I was a part of season 1, and I think all of us were just like, we're just going to figure this out.
We were.
And I'm speaking in terms of like the producers.
Right.
Yeah.
Because at the time we did Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, DJ Drama and his girlfriend at the time were going to do the show. And don't know if you guys even knew that. Did y'all know that? Okay. And when we lost them, they decided not to do it. What y'all don't know, maybe I told y'all already, so whatever. The producers were freaking out. Like, we don't have DJ Drama or his girlfriend. What the f is this show going to be, right? And so that's what I'm being honest when I say we all, me, Mona, Stephanie, like we all were just like figuring it out. And Mona's a genius who always had the pulse of this industry because this is her industry. And I was a student learning from Mona. Like, I don't know nothing about how this shit operates. And Mona was such a genius because she understood, like, I know it's going to get people talking. Long story short, this Mimi, Stevie J, Jocelyn thing came out of nowhere. And it blew up. And I remember being at Houston's on a Monday night, right? At like 7. And Rick Ross was at Houston's. And I remember hearing Rick Ross say, damn, we gotta go Love and Hip Hop Atlanta about to come on.
Yeah.
And this at the time when like you watch TV
at the crib.
time.
Exactly. You watched it then and you called all your friends and y'all had a party watching it.
Yes. And I remember being there like, Rick Ross is leaving Houston's to make sure he's home at 8 o'clock to watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. So when the season became a bona fide hit, it was one of the first seasons in a long time where every single episode, the ratings increased, and then the reunion happened and boom. Did you guys feel like, okay, you two plus Scrappy were probably at the time, and K. Michelle would say too, kind of the most recognizable. But the Mimi, Stevie J, Jocelyn thing took off. Was there ever a moment that you guys felt like Stevie J, Mimi, Jocelyn overshadowed y'all? Season 1.
You can start with that and I'll chime in.
Well, definitely how I felt. And I give Stevie J and Jocelyn and Mimi their props because Jocelyn, you know, everything works for her with that little that shit, you know, like I like them, period. Like
absolutely.
As cast,
and Mimi, and keep in mind, Mimi, we've known Mimi for like forever. 30 years.
Yeah, we've known Mimi
like
over
we've
30.
known her forever.
Yeah.
So we know her.
When I seen it, I realized I was like, wait a minute. I'm cool as Kirk, you know, just really, you know, I got a different rep. So I'm thinking that real, I thought the real it was what they wanted. So I'm thinking I'm about to just really pipe up. You know, I had to do it because they wouldn't do it without her, her other, right? So I'm thinking, okay, well, then I'm about to do this and whatever. I never thought of it as Stevie J was that genius with the rat faces and the little way he moved. What he did really work. I didn't know that though at the time. I'm thinking this was corny, but it really wasn't. I seen that this is what worked with TV. And I realized what I got from Stevie is I was like, you got to dumb your personality down. The way you think you are, you're not to people. People think of you as this other shit. So you need to
character.
Yeah, you got to chill out a little bit and be a little more funny. And I learned that from just watching. Did I ever think it would be like checkmate, like we're gonna catch you? That happened in season 2, right? Season 2 was the Hot Tub?
Oh, was it
3? Was it 2 or 3?
3.
3.
It was 3.
So by 3, we knew, you know, by 1, we knew by episode 5 that okay, we need to shift. Season 2 was, I think they said we was like neck to neck because Rasheeda's long history of being a female rapper. By 3, we totally had all the we were the show at this point, like literally since then, right?
You were the show by season 3. First of all, when were you ever the show? See, this is what I mean by the delusions of grandeur and all this other bullshit that we talking about right now. Because when was Kirk and Rasheeda ever loving Hip Hop Atlanta? When? That's the part that I'm trying to understand. When were you ever the show? When, Georgia Prune? When 3 Earrings? When were y'all ever the show? That's what I'm trying to understand here. When? I ain't never heard nobody look at Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and say, I can't wait to see what Kirk and Rasheeda doing. No, there was always talking about Mimi, Stevie, Jocelyn, K. Michelle. I even say Scrappy. No one ever talked about y'all. So let's not act like y'all did so much for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Y'all ain't do shit but show us what not to do. Please sit down. Okay, please.
I mean, we got the. Now I'm not saying because we could never do it without them, but if that cast was ever back together, it would be like the number one because that was genius.
Honestly
genius,
speaking,
genius.
I feel like all of the parts came together like they needed to.
It was
Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 1, season 2. That cast, like it couldn't have been better any other way. Yeah. To be honest, what I realized was everybody has to give what everybody gives. Yes, and that's what made the show so dope. I'm just a person who I don't want to be nobody else. I don't want to try to be like nobody. I walk in my own purpose. Like I've always been this way. So there's never been a point to where I felt like, ooh, we got to be like them or we got to do this. No, we just have to understand who we are and then proceed in that direction. Right. And that's kind of like the way we looked at it. Cause I ain't gonna count. We ain't gonna sit here and be like, it wasn't times where we was like, we might have to, you know what I'm saying?
Turn a little different direction.
Here on this show. Now, we might have to let them know some things. Let me
tell you what I do this
You know? Yeah. You have to, you do to a certain extent.
Yeah.
This is what I will say. In anything that you do, especially something as big as Love and Hip Hop, it's a give and a take. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't expect all of this from reality TV, all the great things without having to go through the bullshit.
And that's reality TV in general.
It is in general. That's why I guess a lot of times I'm real like, girl, bye. Like, I don't give a damn. Like,
but as a woman, I ask you this because when it comes to the men, one thing about the men, they're like, that's for men. Shit. But the girl shit, on some real shit, it was obvious that Jocelyn became the face of the show.
Of course.
And the K. Michelle became the witty one. And obviously you were established. Was there ever time just like, you know, listen, being a woman in this industry, did you ever feel like, am I not as important as now?
I will say this, and maybe it's because I've been an independent female underground rapper for such a long time. I always felt like staying focused, staying determined, and staying true to yourself, that shit will surface. At what level, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I could do. All I could do was come on the show and just be Rasheeda.
Yeah.
And if that worked and connected, it worked and connected. If it didn't, it didn't. That's just how I looked at it, period. I never looked at it like that because I just can't do that. That's not who I am. I've always been like that. So, I mean, and the thing about it is, like, I loved Jocelyn, what she brought to the show. You know, I liked K. Michelle and what she brought to the show.
Oh, did you?
I liked Scrappy and Erica Dixon and the whole.
See, you loved what K. Michelle brought to the show because K. Michelle actually, you know, made y'all a little bit more watchable. Because before you was beefing with K. Michelle, you and Kirk were fucking boring. No one cared about your music career. No one cared about what you had going on. You sitting in that house folding up towels on camera and shit like that. Nobody gave two right fucks about what you had going on before you beef with K. Michelle. Really, that's the most that you're known for on this show is beefing with K. Michelle and Kirk having a baby on you. If Kirk didn't have no baby on you, that's all you'll be known for. Those will be your memorable moments. Is that damn beef with K. Michelle. Be glad Jasmine popped that damn baby out because you wouldn't have no other reason to be on this motherfucking show. Just saying. Just saying, just being honest, okay? I'm just saying, let me see. Jasmine was the best thing that ever happened to them as far as the storyline. Exactly, okay? Exactly. But let's continue, y'all.
Oh, and Mama D and the whole scenario that we had. Like, I looked at everything and I said, you know what? Everybody plays like this intricate role. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day in life, like, you're going to get your laughs and your kikis and from Stevie, Jocelyn, Mimi.
Mimi.
No, Stevie, Jocelyn, Mimi, epic. the whole, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get your laughs. You're going to, Scrappy to this day should have had Paul's t-shirts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got Mama D forever is just in the palace. You know, it's just all of these different things. I think what connected Kirk and I is just like, I got to just real nigga. Like just real relationships, like it's just real people, you know. And I think ultimately you want to be entertained, but you also kind of want to learn and kind of like tread through some of that. And I think that's what we brought.
A lot of people question the validity of your storyline, right? Because they feel like in order to keep up with them, you had to create some fake shit. And I want you guys to address that. So I wasn't a part of the show when the storyline came out about infidelity in the marriage. Before Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I've been around you guys, and I'm just being honest, I've never seen anything but like, this man is infatuated with you. and when
people don't see that.
No, when I say that, this is before Love and Hip Hop,
right?
When they weren't like on TV, so a lot of people were in their faces, like. We will all be like me and my ex and y'all, like we will all just hang out, right? And I remember always catching Kirk staring at you in a very like admirable way, like you're his TV. So a lot of people were in they rated with you. Before Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I came out about infidelity in the marriage. Before Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I've been around you guys, and I'm just being honest, I've never seen anything but like. This man.
You always gotta let us know that you've been around these folks. You always gotta let us know that you friends with these people in real life. You always gotta let us know, yeah, I know you guys. Yeah, I know them. Because yes, I know them. Yes. Hey, Raindrops. I know Kirk and Georgia Prune Raindrops. You always gotta let us know. We don't give a fuck. Okay? We don't care. And all I know is that at this particular moment right now, you are finna kiss ass so good. You ought to teach me how to wait. You ought to teach me how you lick ass. Because you lick it so good. I know you'll give them up an orgasm by licking their ass. That's what you do. Teach me your techniques, please. Because I'm already over it already. Let's continue, y'all.
Is infatuated with you. And when
people don't see that.
No, when I say that, this is before Love and Hip Hop,
right?
When they weren't like on TV, so a lot of people were in their faces. Like we will all be like me and my ex and y'all, like we will all just hang out, right? And I remember always catching Kirk staring at you in a very like admirable way, like you're his lady and he loves you. So when the storyline came out about infidelity, I'm like, nah, I don't. Not them. were you guys dealing with that before the show, and you two decided not to share it with producers?
No, we brung it to the show. I mean, because you've been there. I mean, the cameras got to be invited into your house to talk about it. So what happened? This is me backing it up a little bit. Rasheeda had just had Carter. And she can elaborate more into it. And now keep in mind, when we came on the show, we had been married already for 11 years, right?
Yeah,
11 years. So
yeah, because I think we did a 12 year. What you call it?
With an anniversary.
Yeah.
Season 2, we did something.
Yeah, we did the little.
So we was married, right?
Thing.
So nobody even knew Rasheeda was married. Number one, because she was a rapper, and you're supposed to be having no boyfriend. You don't supposed to have. You got to be sexy for the people to want you. That was the industry at the time. No kids. You don't supposed to do nothing, right?
None of that.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the second kid. This is Carter. And she gets pregnant. We couldn't wait. Carter's coming, and we had some bumps going through the pregnancy, but Carter comes, and I'm happy as hell, but what I did notice, Carter slept with us till he was 7 years old, by the way, in the middle of the bed. So this is how much we was in love with this little boy. Like this because we ain't having no more kids. So we're going to spoil him. Anyway.
Same little boy that you tried to say wasn't none of yours. The same little boy you went and got a DNA test on behind your dumbass wife's back. It's so crazy how you're talking about, oh, we was just in love with this little boy, but you didn't even think the little boy was even yours. But okay, Kirk.
I noticed that me and Rasheeda were growing apart. It was like we were going through, and this is the real shit. Like this didn't get on the screen. Like we didn't get to shoot. Kirk and Rasheeda are really not really fucking with each other like that. It was like, we was just going through that.
And I think it was just the point of us, like, because for me, I didn't know anything about like depression or postpartum and stuff like that after having a kid. Like, as a Black woman, that was not something that you even knew about, discussed, thought it pertained to you or anything like that. And we went through this period where I was like, I wasn't with him like that. Like, I'm overweight. People talking about you. I'm on this show that's huge, and I'm sitting here like, oh my God, did I do the wrong thing? Like, okay, wait, and I'm down and I'm beating myself up, honestly, for no reason, but I'm human, and things happen. I pushed him away. And I blame him to say he should have grabbed me and, put his arms around me and nurtured me more than doing the things that he did. But I'm a piece of work, when it comes time. Like, I was just like.
So you were going through postpartum. You didn't want to be intimate with your husband.
I did not. And we were not intimate for a long time, which does not make it an excuse. But
12 months?
It was almost a year.
Y'all didn't have sex for 12 months after Carter was born.
We did have sex, but if you try, it was like, come on.
Oh.
It was bad.
You ain't got that problem no more, though.
No, not no more.
You ain't had that for a long time. No.
Yeah. It was up,
seriously,
right?
It was bad.
But I mean, I get beat up because Kirk mind you, this is almost a decade old now. So all this talk is a decade. This is almost 10 years right at this point.
Yeah.
So people talk about it like it was yesterday. And then, Kirk just and Jasmine. I'm like, come on, bro. It's 10 years old at this point. What do you not want me to be able to communicate with the kid's mom? Like some people still think it's not real. Like Cannon is like not a real child. Cannon is a real child. Cannon is really over.
And you know what? It was a real situation that happened that had to be one of the biggest learning lessons, one of the hardest things to deal with, one of the hardest things to get past. And at one point, I didn't think I was gonna get past it. Like it was literally to the point to where I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
And everybody, that's the thing. Like when people say, Rasheeda must be the stupidest woman on the earth, or Rasheeda must be stupid. Rasheeda should. They want Rasheeda to go out and go.
Girl, you need to go sleep with this.
With everybody.
Girl, I'm not about to slang coochie because you want me to slang some coochie.
Yeah, it's like the upset is. So I see how women think. They was like, you need to go be a bad whore. You get what I'm saying? And then how they get even.
Well, I think this, because the thing is this. You have been called the dumbest woman in America. And I want you to address that, but I want to go back a little bit because listen, on some real shit, y'all are relatable. You two aren't the first married couple to deal with infidelity and to deal with the outside baby.
True.
And we'll get to that later.
And guess what? I learned that upon my situation. You don't understand. Like, people can say what they want. I had so many people reaching out to me. It was so overwhelming. So many stories about people, their relationships, they mama them, their grandparents and them. All of this ain't nothing new under the sun. It's just the difference with us is ours was broadcasted on television. And, people, they always want to ridicule you. And if me being the dumbest person, because I decided to stay with my husband and fight for my family and do that, I'll be all the dummies I want to be in. It doesn't matter to me at this point. I know what we've been through. And honestly, it was a hard pill to swallow, very difficult. He had to make a lot of changes, and do a lot of things. And it's a difficult road. But at the end of the day, like, I had to go through that and deal with that, as a woman with the world watching me, and everybody still to this day, you know what I'm saying, judging me because I decided to stay, which
certain people, because I will say this, it is
well, the reason why people judge you for staying so bad is because you have set your ass on this TV and you have ridiculed other women for not having a husband and throwing the fact that you got a husband in other people's faces. Now, you said your ass, your suitcase eye ass on Love and Hip Hop many a times and stated that K. Michelle was upset because you got a husband. K. Michelle was upset, was jealous of you and your friends because all y'all got husbands. But yet Toya has made because first of all, one of the friends that you were talking about was Toya. Toya has made a damn daily planner out of divorce. So yeah, who would want to be like her? Then you talking about the husband that you want is that man, and you not gonna get him. And then here we go. The next year, your husband accusing you of fucking around and that your son Carter ain't even none of his. And then he go and get a DNA test behind your back. And this is the man that you say K. Michelle wanted. That's the reason why everybody be ragging on your ass, because you've had so much to say and want to throw up the fact that you got a man in other people's faces. That's the reason why people go in on you. That's one of the reasons why I don't like your ass, is because that's what you do. You throw up the fact that you got a husband as if that's supposed to mean something. It don't mean the motherfucking thing. It don't mean shit that you got a husband, Rasheeda. It really don't. That's why people judge you, because you sat on your throne and threw tomatoes at everybody else who didn't have no husband like yours was worth some. Bye. That's all I'm saying. Let's continue.
The difference, and that changed the way people looked at me and Rasheeda after that. Like, I've never been anywhere where people are not like, it's certain times when you're doing this and you just there, but after that, people care. Like, people was like, Kirk, you saved my marriage, you saved my relationship, I'm back in the house. It became like y'all saved us because
who is saying that y'all saved their marriage? How can you save somebody's marriage with the bullshit that y'all done went through? How the fuck is y'all saving anybody? The only way y'all can save anybody's marriage is to say, we see them on TV. That is what not to do. They're showing us what we should not do. They're showing us that that is not the kind of marriage that we want. That got to be the only way that you saving it, because I know they're not watching Love and Hip Hop and saying, oh yeah, girl, Rasheeda done saved my life. She done saved my marriage, all this other shit. Like, girl, bye. Girl, bye. I ain't trying to believe it. You must be delusional. You must be delusional. Like, for real. Like, Drew Sidora, that song, you must have wrote that song for Rasheeda. Because, bitch, girl, like, what the fuck are you talking about? For real. Ooh. I can't.
We wouldn't have seen what y'all did. We would have never made it. That's when I took it real serious. Like, oh, wow. Like, it connected to so many people. Now, for me, was it embarrassing being who I was? It was embarrassing. I got kids. You know, it was fucked up. I got grandkids. I got 7 grandkids. People think my grandkids is like outside.
Yeah, because, you know, he got a whole bunch of let the world tell it. And I take care of all their kids.
Like,
that's what they say.
They'll say anything. Rasheeda's so done. Got all these kids. My kids are all grown.
Right.
Except
and they got
Carter
kids.
and Cannon, right? Mm-hmm. They're grown. The thing I'd be mad about sometimes, and, you know, I understand it's people with their opinions, whether it's good or bad, but, you know, we made it through some rough shit, and nobody trained me to learn to be attacked from the internet. But, like, I didn't know what was going on. And that was a weird place because Rasheeda's my best friend. Like, this is like, I got kids and they love me to death and they didn't judge me. But Rasheeda was my best friend. And me and my best friend was like on the outs. And that me up because it's like, well, I don't, I'm talking about when I say you know how you could sleep and be like, please just tell me this was a dream. And I would wake up and this is real every day, right? And it made me realize, you know what? For one, I'm definitely going to fight for my wife. I'm going to show her that, you know, I was wrong for what I did. And I shouldn't have been just because we wasn't intimate and you wasn't for me. I shouldn't have just, you know, I was lost too. I went in the streets hanging with my partner who got single. I'm drinking every day. I'm out. I'm in the club. I'm in goddamn a bar at 2:00 to the night. Like, I'm lost, like literally, right? And something.
May I ask you this? Mm-hmm. Not to cut you off, because I feel like a lot of men are watching this and a lot of women are watching it too. And I always want to relate it back to like how people can relate to this. At this time, you're on television. Mm-hmm. So were you seeking out women or were women seeking you out and that's what happened?
Well, no. People always was in your DM. I mean, if people know me, I'm not, and I don't want this to be like I'm trying to brag. I'm a young dude who came from New York hustling in the time and epitome and people. I grew up a certain kind of way. I'm not trying to brag about it, but
you are.
I'm always used to girls. I hung around Ebony and all the flyest girls in the world. Like Ebony had to fly. Rasheeda was different because she didn't want much. That's what made me like her. It was her personality and everything. So it wasn't even about me liking the women. I've dated celebrities before. I didn't want none of that. It was like a change in time. I had one situation. Think about this. All they say about me, where these girls at? In a time where everybody got a camera, everybody films everything.
Everybody got receipts.
I'm just keeping it 100. Where the bitches at?
Was Jasmine the only woman you
That is the only hit on me. And I got to hear everything under the world. I'm the cheater. I'm pissed off because I'm like, where they at then? Come to where are you? Where you at? So I get that and it pisses me off because they think Rasheeda let Kirk do anything. He could just go cheat. And here's what else pissed me off. Jasmine has said she shows text messages from 2007. So certain people seen it. Oh, that's from 2007. Was it 2007 or 2017?
No, 17.
2017. Mm-hmm. You know, when you look there, you go back.
You don't even know what year it was. That's how you know you full of shit. Shout out to the 300 people that's up in here, but you don't even know, girl, child. Okay,
look, it was old, right? But we lived it out, and they got to relive it, and we got to bring it up. Ain't going on. And Jasmine told everybody on television, on the show. She said, I'm a nasty. Right? Mm-hmm. Why in the fuck would I have any challenge if I wanted to knock her back? If I wanted to knock her back and I'm taking care of a child and giving you money, if she does this, what would make it a challenge? I'm not knocking nothing she did. I'm glad for her. She's doing what she do. But am I trying to sleep with her? No. Do I want to sleep with her? No. She has a huge crush on her. She asked me one day.
I know she wanted to pat on my little Kit Kat.
She wants your bubble gum?
She want my butt. She wanted 2 hours.
Hey, listen, if you think about when Jasmine came on the show, she came with Rod and his 2 girls. It was 2 on the show. He kissed both of them in the bed. She doesn't hide her sexuality. She wanted to be a 3 like us. Rasheeda's just not with like that. You get what I'm saying? So,
doing, baby.
But I'm not saying that to be shady or nothing, but I mean, it is what it is. You know, I took it on the chin. She said what she said, you know. There's other things she talk about, and I know a lot of stuff going on now that I have not revealed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stay at my place. You get what I'm saying? With other people, but she's like she's been around Rasheeda, and she told Rasheeda who she's talking to. A celebrity and what he wants to do. She's not like a closed door like type of, she's not a hider. So she's going to expose what's going on.
I got one thing to say. One thing. Just one thing, y'all. Give me 1 minute. Hold on, y'all. Cause I just gotta say it real quick. I gotta put it up here. I just got to.
I am disgusted. It ain't even for Mimi, cause you a grown ass woman. You had a choice. It's for Eva, cause she didn't have one.
I'm just saying. I'm disgusted. I'm truly disgusted. Like, really? And Rasheeda up here laughing, girl.
On this,
and I think that's the biggest thing for me because, you know, listen, we live in the real world and we live in Atlanta, and in some of our friend groups, there are couples who have, I'm not gonna say an open marriage,
but they swing and they do their thing.
They're
they
swingers,
do,
and they, you know, whatever. So I do think this. When it comes to you, and this is me on some real. I was shocked, floored, and in disbelief when I learned you stepped outside of your marriage, only because that's not the Kirk that I hung out with. And then after I was in shock on some real shit, I love her so much because she's such a sweetheart that I was like, no woman deserves that. But for me, it was, I know how much she also is devoted to you. And when you learn not only he cheated on you, but they had a baby, there are comments saying we've never seen you cry. Even Scrappy said that, but behind the scenes, like,
oh baby,
how did it
was tough.
Talk us through, because I know you in real life, and I could not imagine the pain you must have felt.
Here we go again. You know her in real life. Here we go again. You got to let everybody know that y'all friends from back in the days. But when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again. Here we go again. You got to let us know all this. Carlos, we don't care. I know it may not seem like we don't care, but I promise you, we don't care. We get it. You friends with these lames. They're corny as... We know you friends with them, honey. We know. We get it, and we know at this point, okay? Get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
you know what I will say? I don't think a gun wound or like somebody stabbing me, you know what I'm saying? Like it has to equivalent to like a pain that you just can't explain. You know what I'm saying? And coming from someone who, you know, this right here, like people say everything. We are freaking best friends. Yeah, like friends. End of story. Like it just is what it is. I
can't confirm that.
Kirk and Rasheeda, yep, you can keep running it. Rasheeda ain't never leave. We're gonna always be good. We're gonna always be cool.
This too. I knew I hurt her bad. I thought she was done with me, and I just want people to understand. I really thought we were done, right? But I knew I fucked up even more when we was on that reunion, and she broke down crying in front of everybody, and her mama hugged her, and she was like, "It's gonna be all right, baby." Yeah. I said to myself, "I'm dead." Yeah. These women are gonna. I was like, I was so mad at her, but it was her emotions and breakdown because we friends. I'm like, she just killed me.
Because what I will say is like I felt like, because doing television, they show all these little small parts and all these little pieces. They never ever came in to really, really ask me or really, you know, kind of go through or film me going through what I really went through. I went through a lot of shit by myself. And besides my friends checking on me, I'm talking about, I'm not answering the phone. My friends is pulling up like,
doorbell.
Where are you? What are you doing? You know, and me and him were, back then we had more than one house. Okay. I'm at one house. He's at another house.
Oh, really?
Like, people don't know all of that. And I feel like I just never sat and explained all of that because everybody wants to run with the narrative that they want to run with. And I'm not the type of person who feels like I need to sit down and explain, you know, to people all the time. Oh my God, it was this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Now at this point, because people just, they run with whatever they want to run with. But when I tell you one of the most difficult, and we went through that when I tell you for a long time, like a very long time.
Maybe 2 years, it was
2 years.
First year was it was awful.
Like when I tell you, it was just first of all, when you are best friends with someone and y'all are totally in love with each other, and y'all, if we're not together, we on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So when that right there is like done and over with, you know, and you're moving totally different than you've been moving for the last 10, 15 years. You know what I'm saying? That alone was a lot. I had to come to realize though, like I could not allow the public to get into my head, because had I done that, I would probably be in a whole different place at this point.
I want to continue there. You're on at that time, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta arguably is the biggest reality show in the world. And what I always thought was funny is because back in the day we all hung out. I remember it was like this funny, friendly competition.
Here we go again. Back in the day, we all hung out. Back in the day, we all hung out. Back in the day, we all hung out. Girl, we know. How many times is you gonna tell us this shit? We know, girl. We know, honey. We know. We know y'all hung out. We know. We know. We know. We know, Mama Jones. We know. Okay. Anyway.
Between you and Candy, because Housewives of Atlanta was number one.
Huge.
And the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta came out. Y'all was like,
hey, what you want to do?
It was like this funny, friendly thing. So it was that show was huge. And people talk about Wendy Williams making the decision to leave her marriage based upon that as an example.
And I watched that, and you know what I said, and I definitely want to make this clear. Like, Wendy allowed her husband a lot of freedoms. She allowed him to have another place. You know what I'm saying? And this is just me watching as a consumer. What you finna say?
No, I'm thinking like, is that the difference? Because you're not the first woman. This is the thing. I love Fun Shade. I think Fun Shade is funny. You two have a sense of humor, right? When people say things like, Rasheeda, Kirk is trying to leave you, but you won't let him.
Oh, well, wait, Kirk, blink two times if you need some help.
Yeah, like, oh my God, Rasheeda, Kirk wants to leave. Like,
nigga,
stop,
bye.
Right? Or like, let his man cheat in peace. So, like, but I also know some real shit, and this is nobody's fault. When you are a public figure and you have the world saying to you, leave this man, leave him. How were you able to drown out the noise to really pay attention to what you were going through as a wife and a mother?
Yeah, it was so tough. Like, people, they talk on it now, but they have no idea like how heavy that was. Like, it was so heavy that it was like, I literally, there was times where I don't think I even came from out of the bed for like a long time. I would say a week, you know, like it was really hard. I had conversations with people who were close to me. You know what I'm saying? All of my friends and the people who really love me, none of them ever told me, leave your husband. None of my real friends.
Family members did, and I was disappointed.
Yeah, some family members did.
I was like,
you know, and all of that. But all I could do.
Well,
go ahead,
Kirk.
I understand.
You know, look, the thing for me is this. I understand that it's not popular, and I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Please do.
It's not popular in our community for a Black man to cheat on his Black queen. And I understand it, and I get it, and it's wrong, and it's unnecessary. Wrong and unnecessary things happen in this world, right? We have Jay-Z, Beyonce dealing with infidelity, and they were able to deal with it in their own way. there were women who dealt with their husbands having a break baby or a baby outside their marriage, and they stayed. What I always was confused about is why the two of you seem to be the poster couple for you guys are not couple goals.
Because they're not.
I'm confused by that.
Confused. I am too.
Because they're not.
Because for me, if I am not going to
look
at...
they're not. Because they're not. Because they're not. Because they're not. I don't know how many times I got to say it. Because they're not. Who wants to be like them? Who wants to be like Kirk and Rasheeda? This is why we say they're not couple goals. Nobody wants to be like them, Carlos. Get your nose out they ass cracks for once. Like, I can't. Oh, God.
At someone's relationship or someone's marriage or, look for anything. I want to know what you've been through. I want to understand it because we've been married 25 years. It ain't always great. Like, it gets real out here.
I think so many people for so many years in Atlanta, like you hear people say, if Kirk and Rasheeda can't make it, then I know we can't make it. Yeah. We became like such a couple, and it was like never no wrong. We were like the goal. And when I like up, it made a lot of people were sad, a lot of people were disappointed, and I was disappointed myself. It's, like I said, I'll never act like I wasn't disappointed in myself, right? But when people see people in the comments like, oh, this is my couple goal, this is I can't wait. People get mad because they only know, oh, well, he just had a baby, and that's all they see. And they're like,
because they don't see all the other years and years and years of all this great life that we've had. Yeah,
right.
And I also think in their defense, right. They haven't seen the work you've done
right.
to win back her trust. In their defense, because it wasn't displayed.
No, it wasn't. And I think that, and nothing to throw no shade to nobody, but sometimes people often think that part is not entertaining enough. You know what I mean? Yeah. So at the end of the day, we can only do what we can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How were you able to forgive your husband for having a baby on you and you ultimately having to be around that for the rest of your life?
Very difficult. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Listen, I had so many conversations with the Lord. It was by the Lord himself that just really pulled me through. Like, and my kids, like, just being honest, like, and my friends who they were very, very supportive, to a certain extent, but it still was like, no, I have to figure this out for me. What's going to make me happy? And then if we dismantle, we can chop all this up. We got a lot of shit. We're going to be fair. We're going to be admirable with each other because that's just how we are. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be no big messy divorce, because I had the paperwork. It was sitting on my desk. Like, it was right there. And, I sat there with it there for a good little minute, and one day I just said, he just did so many different things to really try to win me back. Because one thing about me is, like, I'm a Gemini. So when you hurt me, I can cut you off. And I cut him so cold, he's never seen that side of me in his life. And I can't speak for you, but I know it didn't feel good, but I didn't feel good. So he had to feel what I felt, and I couldn't really do that. But after a while, I had to pray on it. Like, for real, I prayed and prayed and prayed. And I asked the Lord to lead me. I will not be led by man or woman. You know what I'm saying? I was led by God. And if I got to be dumb for that, then I'll take all them L's. It's fine. My children, I remember Kai coming to me and saying, Ma, I know Dad messed up. But if we no longer a family, like, what are we all going to do? Like, we're a family. We make it through anything. And just listening to him talking, he said a whole lot of other different things as just like a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Living through this and my kids dealing with it in high school. People don't even get the gist. You know what I'm saying? But, that's one part besides me just with the Lord with it. That's one thing that really stuck to me, him. And then all the kids calling, and all my kids like calling like, no, I know, but Shima, please, you got to understand, Dad, he made a big mistake. We all make mistakes, and we do. you know, and then I had to sit there and I had to think about it like, okay, it comes a point in time in life, sometimes you have to weigh out the positives and the negatives. You know, I'm not in the type of relationship where my husband was constantly cheating on me, doing all kind of fucked up shit. No, we didn't have.
But my thing is this, wasn't there a situation before Jasmine, and we saw it on season 2 of Atlanta, where he went and cheated on you and was out at the damn hot tub with Benzino and his chick named Mary Jane, the same chick that was out doing interviews with motherfuckers, the same motherfucker that Bambi was finna pull up and fight when she was on Candy Cold and Ice, and this was in 2013. So that's what I'm trying to understand, because why the fuck are we just making this Jasmine thing the only thing that he had going on when we literally saw on TV that he f***ed around on you once before? We're not stupid. Stop.
Have that. We're like freaking frat, yin yang, period.
See how you see me?
Yeah, like
That's always been the case.
it's like it's like we ain't individuals. We are Kirk and Rasheeda. You know what I'm saying? So I also had to weigh that out. Now he double whammied it with the baby. I was like, God damn, you know, but I was like, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes the toughest and hardest things happen during a time where you weren't expecting for that to happen. That came in. It was very difficult for me, for us, but we actually made it through it. And our relationship only got better after that. So I tell people all the time, because even when we were having a conversation with Mona, and I said, actually, you know what? Sometimes, you know, you catch a lot of flack for a lot of different things. She does. I said, but I have to give you your flowers to say, honestly speaking, you know, it was meant for that to happen, for the world to watch and have their judgment. It's totally fine, you know, but at the end of the day, that actually helped us go into a new season of life within our marriage. And it really has. Now, all the extra shit that be going on, that's just a bunch of cap. You know what I'm saying? That's why I really like toss that shit off, because I'm like, baby.
And I also think too, in y'all world, and this is the reason why I always try to tell people who I know who are famous, reality stars or not, the internet world is very different than the real world.
So much.
And I'm pretty sure, and I could bet all my savings on this, that in real life, y'all don't get a percentage of the smoke in person.
Never.
Never. I try to tell people, don't listen to me. Y'all, the internet stuff, this is the thing about the internet that I want people to understand. And we're all guilty of it too.
Right.
When we see something on the Shade Room or Neighborhood Talk, Jasmine brand, we all do what? Go to the comments to laugh. Right. So our intention is to go to the comments to laugh. And if it's dry, we leave and we come back and tell us hype. What that means psychologically is making the people who leave comments to one up each other.
Of course, because they want the top comment. They want the most likes on their shit.
Yeah.
You know, all of that.
So they're going to say the most egregious shit. But we're guilty of it for searching for it. So it's not shade against the people online. We all do it. Mm-hmm. But I know in real life is different. And even the fact that this is the funniest thing. In the beginning, it was like they're the most boring couple on the show. Mm-hmm. Now they're the dumbest couple on the show.
Right.
They are.
But what's interesting to me is you two have outlasted every single OG on that show, and you guys are still full-time players. Mm-hmm. Did you think in a million years that Kirk and Rasheeda would still be the top billing players on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta?
I didn't, because that wasn't my lane. But the day I met Rasheeda, I knew it was something special about Rasheeda. I could tell people that she has just, I can't explain it, but she has something about her that's different. So I knew that in the beginning. But on the show that I think we would be where we at, no, not in a million years. I would have never thought that.
You know what? That's never been in our mindset.
Yeah.
You know, we just go and just be us and do what we do. It also wasn't, one thing that I will say though too, is it also wasn't something that we thought would happen when everything happened with our marriage. It changed an entire demographic of ratings for Love and Hip Hop to a level that they weren't even expecting. So although people, they want to ridicule you, but they're tuning in because it hits a real place.
But we weren't tuning in for you. That's what you fail to understand. We never tuned in for you. So don't get yourself all that. Like, it's like, girl, what? No one to. I need to understand why the fuck are their heads so damn big, because they really think that they are somebody that we all tune into this show to see. Like, we never cared about y'all like that. Ever cared about y'all. Ever cared about y'all. Y'all are the laughing stock of love and hip hop. And on top of that, okay, you letting Carlos blow smoke up your ass and talk about how y'all outlasted everybody else that was on the show. Most of them people that's no longer on the show got a lot going on for themselves. K. Michelle left that show and went on to be greater. Jocelyn got her own damn show that's thriving, although it's a ratchet fucking mess that I would never tune into. She got her own shit going on. Tracy still, I don't know who the fuck she is and why she left, but whatever. Jessica Dime, she went and got her own show on Nights TV. She doing her thing, and her husband is happy. They got about 2 children together. They don't need to be on the show. Who else is gone that they outlasted? Who else? Mimi is gone. Stevie J still doing his thing too. Some of the people that's gone are doing much better than what they were doing while they were on Love and Hip Hop. Some people know when to fucking leave. Y'all just didn't know when to leave. Okay, let's continue.
As much as they don't want to admit it. You know what I mean?
I want to say something to that too, because they sat me down because I was like,
get your mouth off that phone.
I was like, listen, they had to explain to me that it's a business here too, right? That when you see something happen, like say something happens and you hit the shade room, right? If they go there and there's 0 comments, then there's 0 algorithm, there's 0 movement,
there's zero relevancy
in there. When it hits and it can be this and it gets millions and all these comments, well, that ups your value. I hate to say it.
It does. It's the truth.
It's f***ed up, but the f***ed up is.
Let's have a real conversation.
Thank you.
And we are
here. We go. Let's have a real conversation when we know it's going to be bullshit and fakeness. We know this. Come on, Carlos. Come on, raindrops. Come on, raindrops. Yes. Come on, raindrops. Let's get into the phony conversation.
all love them. Right. And that's why we bow down, right?
Right.
Beyonce wrote Lemonade based on Jay-Z cheating on her. Okay. She made millions off of it. It's arguably her best album ever. Jay-Z himself made 444, which was his response. But y'all don't get that.
Yeah.
Right. It was sort of like back in our day, the hip hop diss track, like it's my response record.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's 444 was a response album to Beyonce's Lemonade. And if you listen to it, he talked about him cheating on her, her having the stillborn babies. He talks about the fact that he saw the day the innocence was lost in her eyes. And listen, the Stevie J, Mimi, Jocelyn threesome trifecta was so like out of this world that it was so shocking. But for a lot of people, it wasn't relatable. It was shocking.
Right.
Seeing this couple deal with that level of infidelity was relatable.
Right.
And at the end of the day, what I'm proud of the two of you, and you may not get this publicly, but I'll say it, you two, which I can't express enough how proud I am of you two. The fact that you two have decided to like, let's drown out the noise and let's sit here and let's work on our marriage. Is this marriage worth being saved? I didn't know until today that Jasmine was the only woman you cheated on Rasheeda with. I really thought, based, again, no shade, what I saw on social media, I'm guilty too at times.
That wasn't the first. Like I said, he cheated on her ass before. Are we forgetting about Mary Jane? Or there was some fake storyline? Was Mary Jane real or was it a fake storyline? I'm just saying, like, what's really going on here?
Right.
I thought you had a plethora of women. I thought you were cheating on her for many years. I thought we were all hanging out, I thought that. But the fact that you two allowed yourselves, and this to me is a blessing of God protecting. I'm gonna just be real. I love the fact that we didn't see the periods of you trying to gain her trust back because they couldn't attack that.
You're right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's exactly.
That would have probably
you said that. You said that.
You see what I'm saying?
You're right.
Yeah.
They could.
I'm proud that they did not see what y'all go through, because it would have been another attack on. I don't believe him.
Okay,
He's not sorry.
It's that. Yes.
She forgave him too soon.
Yes.
And it's easy. Listen, I'm not here to judge anybody. What I will say is, based on my history of life, I can't tell you how many people I know who've dealt with this. And I can't tell you how many people I know who have decided to stay. It's not as odd as people may think it is. And I feel bad that people are calling you out your name, although you don't care. I get it. but I do feel like the people who are calling you dumb is because they decided to leave, and maybe they aren't happy with their decision.
So you think that people are calling her dumb because they left their cheating ass husbands and they're not happy with the decision that they made because they left their cheating ass husband? Carlos, this is weirdo shit. This is the most weirdo type shit I've ever seen. The links that niggas will go to really blow smoke up a motherfucker's ass is ridiculous. This is top tier ass kissing right here, Carlos. It's top tier. It's top tier ass kissing, Carlos. For real. It's top tier ass kissing. You're making history. You're making history. It's top tier. Top tier ass kissing. To say that people calling her dumb because they're not happy with the decision that they made about leaving their husbands is just crazy to me. It's just ridiculous to me. Oh my God. I can't continue.
Or maybe they haven't been in a 25-year marriage and don't understand the dynamic of, for better or for worse.
Just because you've been in a 25-year relationship, Rasheeda, does not mean that you are supposed to take the bullshit that Kirk has done to you. Just because you were strong enough or you were willing to take the bullshit that Kirk did to you, that don't mean everybody else got to do it just because they was in a 25-year marriage. But okay.
Oh, and that you take your vows and you take that for real. And it was so tough. But I feel like that's why I guess maybe I shake it off, because I'm like, make it through that and a couple other things I done been through. I'm cool. I can stand on business, so I can't allow this world here to get into my head. See, I'm the type who can have to disconnect. I have to disconnect from social media. I have to disconnect from all of that, because I was telling Kirk and a few people the other day, I was like, I see why a lot of people go crazy. It's not hard when you're in this light. That's why I always tell people all the time, because they be like, I want to be on Love and Hip Hop. I want to be on reality. I be like, be careful what you wish for. And let me tell you something. Everybody ain't built for this, because it can eat you up and tear you down. Because in our society, all our culture thinks to do is rip each other apart. I told Kirk the other day, I said, where the white people version of the Shade Room at?
Who does it? Like, where that? We wanted to know, because we was just like,
I said, where is that at?
And
and nothing against the Shade Room. Do your thing. You are a platform. They showed love. It's all good.
Was great.
This is we live in a business world too. Right. So I get that. But I just be like, sometimes with us, we really, really do the most against our own people. And it's sad bad. Sometimes.
Yeah, and I always tell people, listen, throw shade, it's fun. I like to laugh too.
Yeah, we do.
I think when you try to really eviscerate someone's soul.
Yeah.
And I think that's when you have to take a look at what is happening in your life to where you think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, I'm happy for the two of you. I love Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It's a great show to watch. I'm loving this season. Yandy is one of my babies who I love.
Being messy.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think in a million years that my baby Rasheeda and my other baby Yandy would be at odds.
I didn't either.
So what we saw in Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is the fact that, look, Mendici and Yandy are going through their own situation. And Erica Banks brought the bone back. Hey, Erica, I love Tutu, featuring B King. Rest in peace, my favorite song of yours. I love you. But no, Erica brought the bone back. The thing about you, I think I know you so well. When they called you to the scene, I know you so well. You look like what
is this? What they trying on? That's what I was thinking.
You can't be lying. And I said, my girl's like, what shit you got today? And Yandy, so long story short, it has been said that, you know, Jasmine is friends with somebody that allegedly Mendici messed around with, that you allegedly made a comment about that situation. Yandy talked to you about it. Eric, which, by the way, you're funny. Did you say it? Did I say it? I mean, you know, you said it. I did. You don't remember? I mean, you said I said it. Did I say it? So why are you asking me if I said it, if you remember? I'm like, this back and forth is everything,
It
right?
is. But you
have poor Yandy sitting back like, okay, what's going on? She feels like you did not defend her.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
How was I supposed to defend her? I wasn't there.
So what is going on?
No, I'm just saying I wasn't there. Like, and if people in the world only just paid attention to things and stopped just running with narratives, they would see it very clearly. The whole little incident when the girls came to her, me and Kirk were gone. They was looking for, Jasmine was looking for Kirk and Rasheeda, and they ran into the Harrises. Well, Kirk and Jasmine had a whole conversation before they ran into the Harrises, just so that everybody knows. Y'all go back and watch the episode. Now, we left. I was damn near in my bed by the time that whole situation happened, just so you know. And for me, I just look at it like, you know, what you finna say? I hear you. Look, I can hear you, like, and you ain't talking, but I can hear you. I don't like when people try to throw something on you that is so false, like they're trying to, like, you know.
The concept was girlfriend, girl code. This is what I'm going to run with, girl code, girlfriend. And this being honest, Rasheeda introduced her to her friends. Rasheeda gave her the game on the restaurant, how to get the liquor license, how to do stuff. She really put up on the game, right? But the thing is, people get to see what's said on TV. But when I had Cannon, Yandy she never got a phone call.
Well, those friends who supported me, that she wasn't a part of that.
Right. She never got phone call.
She never talked to me at all.
So
about
from then to now, she's never checked on her during that situation. And you can speak on it.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I say when you say girl code, real friend, you try to get these people to rally up against, you know, like. Then long story short, me and Rasheeda contract was up and motherfuckers was going for our spot. That's what really happened. And I'm just keeping it 100.
However, I do want to.
But let me get back into this. I'll probably get mad in trouble for saying that. But anyway, you know, it became a thing where somebody wanted a position, right? But Kai, my son, got into a collision. It was on the Shade Room. 8 million views, everything. Yandy never called her to check on Kai. Is everything
when I
okay?
tell you, I heard from every person on the planet.
I could be home at this time because, you know, I'm friends with Candy, Toya, Munya, everybody. We friends, right?
Yeah.
They was disappointed in me. They sat my ass down and was like, you know, I had to get my ass whooped by them too, you know, because we friends.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, ding dong, at the door, no announcement, how you got through the gate? Kai, whatever, they was there all the time checking on her. Like her friends were there supportively, wholeheartedly, right? What confused me is how of a sudden you such a friend and you never checked on her when the Cannon thing happened. You never checked on her even when it came alive, when Jasmine came back, you never even checked on her then. But y'all friends.
And also, too, just for the thing.
Here we go.
I don't like to be blamed for something that I had no parts of. Okay. And that's where I think my patience runs short. You can't sit here and say it's all because of Kirk and Rasheeda that we're dealing with this Jasmine situation. We can't say that. Because Jasmine and them and the girl, the other girl, Erica, they were talking to you about what your man had going on. That don't have nothing to do with us. Okay. The thing that pissed me off about the whole little Erica situation and all of that was that scene happened like the scene after when I mentioned Yandy, it was like a whole month and some change. That scene where the girls attacked Yandy, that happened the last scene in season 12A. This whole conversation that happened in a whole new season, we did new promos, the whole new thing. It's way later. So what pissed me off is I saw the play. I said, "Oh, y'all trying?" Yeah, because it was right after that. You said, Erica said, you said. I'm like, "Oh, baby, you trying to pull a little New York 1-2 on the." That's what kind of pissed me off, and that's what kind of took it there for me, because I'm like, okay, now you want to play the friend card, but Yandy, you've been doing this reality TV shit for a long time. Before me. So you know how the game going, you know the play. So if we real friends, we don't go past those lines. We keep it straight. We keep it 100. We keep it a buck. You already knew what you were doing. And so that's why I gave it the energy I gave, and I said what I said, because at the end of the day, I know what you're doing, and it's okay. And if people want to run with it and say, Rasheeda's not a good friend, she's not where your man stick his penis ain't got nothing to do with me.
Well, with that being said, you did say in your confessional that, it is rumored that allegedly Mendici has other women. Do you think Mendici is cheating on Yandy?
Have you ever asked that question in Atlanta?
Do you think Mendici cheating on Yandy? Okay. Yeah. Because first of all, hell no.
I left Atlanta for a reason.
Okay, then. There we go. Sounds like a plead the fifth one for me, baby. Yeah.
You said it out your mouth.
Well, this is what I'm going to say.
I never met Mendici, so I don't know anything.
Let me tell you this. I want to say something.
No, Kirk. I want Rasheeda to answer.
Well,
because you said it in your interview.
This is what I will say. I've seen things, and that's just that. That people have brought to me. Let me say it like that.
Did you ever go to her with the things you've seen?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because I don't do stuff like that. Because somebody's bringing me something. Now, had I walked in and seen this somebody, then I might pick up the phone and be like, baby, listen, I just walked in and seen your man going crazy. You better get your ass here before I whoop his.
Well, the things you seen were just like rumors.
Just a little bit people saying that B-Day receipts, that they have. But I'm really not that girl, though. I'm not sitting here running around doing this and doing that. But also, too, I feel like this. Me and Yandy have not had that type of relationship. We don't talk about our husbands. And I know people see the television side of things, and we are in the same friend circles, but there's levels to friendships. And that's the thing. She has her close, tight, bestie friends. Like I said, my friends, when I go through stuff, we're there to hold each other down, not when the camera on, but in real life, and not for a one-up to look good, because if you really felt like you've been holding me down, well, where were you, baby? That's all I'm saying is where you was at. I'm gonna be like, she said, well, Jessica, baby, dry your eyes. It's okay. But for real, it's
here's my thing with Rasheeda. She always trying to downplay shit. That's number one. Number two, she's laughing at somebody else's pain, or if they're going through infidelity in their marriage or their relationship, she's laughing at that. And then number three, she's talking about where were you when this was going on? Well, why didn't y'all getting in front of the camera and y'all making it seem like y'all are best friends and shit like that? But then you never brought it up on camera that she wasn't there for you. This is why I be feeling like a lot of this shit be fake. Oh, Jesus. I promise you. Rasheeda is a nasty individual, y'all.
That's the part that's that Gemini in me. It ain't a gray area. It's fucking black or white. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You said that and you did that. There was an agenda, and it's totally fine. You can have the agenda. Y'all can have that. It's all cool. But don't sit here and try to play on my character oh my God, I've been holding you down so long and you ain't even got my back. Girl, where was you at when I was going through my You didn't reach out that way. You ain't pull up on me. You know why? Because we don't know where each other lives. We never have.
Never been to each other.
We've never been to each other's house.
Y'all ain't friends at all.
So then the world wants to look at me like I'm some type of.
You to her house or vice versa?
No.
Y'all ain't friends. Y'all ain't friends.
Not at the level of how somebody tried to play.
But y'all ain't friends.
Okay, this is a question. How many times have you and Yandy talked on the phone in the last 5 years?
Nigga, 1, 5, 4, 5, not a lot. I mean, we have a very thin text thread and a very minute
and that's what
call log.
We get confused. Like, when did this happen? Like,
so it's okay if people want to say Rasheeda ain't nobody friend. She ain't this. The people who I'm friends with, we know we're friends.
Again, I've been because I tell people all the time, and y'all could.
Here you go. He was just about to say, yeah, because I've been around. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. And if you're gonna have Rasheeda on this interview talking shit, make sure you bring Jasmine back next. Make sure you bring Jasmine on here next week, and make sure you bring Yandy and Mendices on here the week after that. That's all I'm saying. Period.
Y'all can attest to this. There's like 3 different groups of friend groups in Atlanta.
Yes.
Right. Your friend group in Atlanta, y'all been friends for like 2 decades.
3
or more. I was gonna say, or even more,
3.
like longer.
Yeah.
Monica was just at Frost Bistro the other day and posted. We seen you and Monica support Sierra, vice versa. Like your so that Yandy has her own friend group of girls I know, Quad, Portia, you know. On some real shit.
Exactly.
Listen, I know the girls. Your friend group is Candy, Monyetta, Toya, you know, like the Tiny, like that's your friend group. From my understanding, Yandy's friend group is Portia, Quad, and some other girls.
You know, Ami.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
and her New York friends.
Yeah, exactly. So when I saw the scene, I see 2 women who I know very well, and I as a producer, just me being real, I took it as, okay, bitch, we TV friends,
right?
And if that's the conversation, that's fine. But I never once took it as like you're a bad friend, and I never once took it like Yandy was trying something. But I want to ask this to you, Kirk. Do you feel like Yandy and Mendici are trying to come for y'all spot on the show?
Well, me and Mendici had a call, and you know, there was a rumor going on. I had, you know, they consider us some of the best business partners because we don't bother nobody. Like, I don't pick up the phone and call Mona when she was running it heavy, and I damn sure don't pick up the phone and call LaShawn and bother her now with her controlling it, right? You know.
Shout out to LB.
Yeah, shout out to LB. You know, LB, the big dog. Nobody knows that. You know.
No, hi, LaShawn Brownie.
Yeah,
we know LaShawn.
He done pulled out the whole full.
I'm not bad. Hey, LaShawn.
It's all good.
Yes.
So
she's amazing.
She's a real one though. And she checked on Rasheeda. You know, it was times when I'm just speeding back, but she came to the store to look at Rasheeda in her eyes and wanted to tell her so bad.
Like, are you good?
Right. So you know, LaShawn was checking on her, right? But back to that. I kind of feel like Mendici is first of all, he's from Harlem. Right. I'm from Harlem. I've been in Atlanta since '88 though, so I'm from Atlanta as well. Like, I got a lot of Atlanta roots, right? But I know the move. You get what I'm saying? Like, I see what was going on, but I didn't catch it in time because, well, I'll be doing a lot. But you know, listen, if it's a way to get into a story that's the story, why not do it? Get your bread. I'm not mad at it, and I like Mendici. I say this all the time. I like Mendici. I bigged him up. I'm not in it. But we was on the phone one day, you know, and producers had a little something that Rasheeda don't like a producer on the show, right? So he does spiteful shit to Rasheeda, and I had to check and say, listen, you about at my wit's end now. I'm telling the people, he do this again, I'm gonna fuck him up. Like, cause you playing, you thinking it's a joke, and I'm trying to let you know I don't rock like that. I keep it 100. I don't. So with me and Mendici, we good. We talking, and he told me, he said, listen, man, you know what had happened is it was a play. It didn't go the right way, but he told me on the phone, just straight up and down, you just gonna have to take it on the chin. Yo,
no, I know you wanted to go out.
I know you wanted to go out on top, because I said, well, I'm glad it's me and Rasheeda's last month season anyway. I'm glad to get. I was just venting
to your point.
I'm trying to negotiate. You know, I want them to give me some more money. I'm trying to raise my pay. So I said the wrong.
Love y'all. Y'all keep it real.
You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers thinking we leaving. So motherfuckers is challenging the position. I'm saying, so like, what the so here's the thing. He told me, you're gonna have to take it on the chin. And I was like, what? Do you know who you're talking to? Oh, okay. So you want to, so it was like, you know, we made it friendly competition.
But why do y'all think that Yandy and Mendici need to do anything extra to take your spot when Yandy been on since season 2 of Love and Hip Hop New York, and everybody knows that Yandy was a part of the reason why Love and Hip Hop was created, and not to mention she's Mona's protege. So if she really wanted to have a top spot, she could have had it a long time ago. And the reason why she's top billing right now is because of the Mona aspect of it. Because Yandy Mendici ain't got no business being no top spot, nothing on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, because they're not Atlanta. Okay, so they're New York all day. They don't even give Atlanta. Like, they don't even give that. And I'm not even saying that because I live here now. That ain't because I'm not Atlanta. I live in Atlanta. I only been in Atlanta for 7-8 months. I'm not Atlanta, so I can't say I'm Atlanta all day because that ain't even me. I'm not Atlanta. I'm Mississippi, but I ain't Atlanta. But they don't even give Atlanta vibes. They give straight up New York. So, but you know, whatever.
Basically, you know, me and him started spatting over certain things. I started saying slick, probably shouldn't have said, you know what I'm saying? But you were saying slick too. So I'm like, are we doing that then? If that's what you want to do, then this is what we're doing. So, you know, we start throwing jabs, and there's more to come. We start throwing jabs at each other, but not like disrespectful.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just saying little shady shit, you know. Now, here's the thing. You in Atlanta, we in Atlanta. I have friends that I love, who do certain things in their marriage and relationship. I don't judge them. I love them. I don't care. If you doing what you're doing, do what you do. I just feel like they held back some information from us that they should have told us. And that's me keeping it 100.
In terms of like things they knew about you guys, or just what they were going through.
Go to Vegas and look up me and Rasheeda marriage certificate.
Well, no, not in terms of us, because one thing I do have to say is me and Kirk been as transparent as you can get when it comes to this. We put this shit out there. Like, I've dealt with the whole.
And I said this, and I'm getting in because I don't care where he put his private. It's his, right? This is me keeping it 100. But when you start saying slick shit, like, well, I'm the only one on the show who ain't had a baby. You don't have all these goddamn baby mamas coming for Yandy. I'm just keeping it 100. But none of my, this is stuff that happened on the show, right?
Yeah.
But I really feel like, for me, number one, what's happening for Mendici and Yandy, you know, for Atlanta to like you, it needs to happen because they funny down here anyway. You know, Atlanta is funny. You are getting some new traction, right? So I'm gonna give you your prop. That's the Harlem. He's smart. I got to give him credit when credit is due, and I got to give her credit when credit is due because they attacked us in a way where now they're into it with Kirk and Rasheeda, and that's where I was like, I applaud you for that one. You did your big one, right? But I do think, on no shade, I'm like, bro, I've been to 2 weddings. For me to find out you motherfuckers really ain't married, that threw me for a loop.
Are Yandy and Mendici legally not married?
There's no marriage certificate. Those were weddings.
Between us girls, Rasheeda, is that true?
Listen, this is what I will tell you. A marriage certificate is a legal document and a public document that you can pull up and go get right now. That's what I will tell you.
So when he said taking on the chin, that's chess for me. It's like checkmate. You trying to get in a position that I currently hold. I'm like, you hold up. So I'm like, this is a married thing right here, you know, because you got to get there only by being a couple, right? So that was like break number 1. But if y'all got an open relationship, just say it. Instead of us thinking you cheating, because he's really not cheating if it's not what we think. Listen, I'm not disrespecting him because I with him.
Do you really?
But really?
No, I really do. No, and I'm just saying, if it's something different, I think just say that.
Do you think Yandy and Mendici have an open relationship?
It's something they're not telling the world, bro. Okay. It's something they're not telling the world. Rasheeda. I respect.
I'm sorry, that was my mama.
Okay, cool.
Hey, Mom.
I do. You. Okay, like I said, I do have respect for Mendici though. He's a cool dude. You know, he's a smart dude too, though. He laid back, but he cutting.
For me, it's just don't try to deflect and make it seem like it's us who's doing this to y'all. We don't have nothing to do with that. Okay. And then secondly, like I just say, you know, at some point, maybe living in your truth is probably a better option. And that's just what I'm gonna say.
I aired my truth on the show. Yeah. I've been taking the beating since, you know.
Still are taking
no, he's gonna take them. They ain't gonna let that live.
Decade, right?
Yeah.
I
gonna live
I tell
forever.
Rasheeda all the time. I think.
Listen, y'all think I don't like them right now? This interview solidifies why I don't like them. Like it solidifies them. They sit on a pedestal and they think that they can look down on everybody else and say shit about everybody else and what they got going on in their relationship, but can't nobody say nothing about them. This is why I don't like them. They're very self-righteous as fuck, and they got a whole lot of shit going on. Get the fuck out of here.
God for giving me the strength to take those attacks that I had to take, because had I not had to train Rasheeda when she was rapping a lot to learn how to dust off stuff, man, I'd have been standing at the edge of a roof ready to jump the way they was attacking me. You know, I would post my apple pie from Houston's or something like that, and they was like, I hope you choke on it and die.
Damn.
But the things that happened
it was rough.
Yeah.
they were mad at me for like something that happened, and I'm like, I've apologized 100 times. I'm sorry for what it was disrespectful for me, because I hold myself accountable too, because I didn't just any kind of, I held myself to a standard, and I dropped the ball, which was disappointing for me.
Yeah.
So it made me realize, you know what? Kids looking up to me, my grandkids, this and that, they got to go to school. Which they call me Yaya, by the way. They're like, what you doing, Yaya? You gonna fuck the family
Because
up.
to have the conversation, sit your kids down to tell them, like, did you guys have to do that before the show aired just to give them a heads up, or were they?
Well, it couldn't be before the show aired because goddamn well we didn't know what the.
No, we had to talk to them as it goes.
We had to talk to them as it went.
Don't let people pick on you. Don't learn that it's this and that. Yeah. But now in no hindsight, Love and Hip Hop got a lot of real moments. A lot of them are transparent. Like literally, it's happening right in front of your eyes. We don't see it until it airs. We don't even know what people about to talk about. We don't know what's coming on. When me and Mendici was spatting back and forth with y'all getting to watch now, I mean, shit, we was on the phone less than a week ago talking about some car and some other shit. So it's like, I think the guys, we're mature. We understand that what age we are. We're not trying to act like we in elementary school. But like, yo, you said something,
Melanie, we at work, we're gonna call you back.
I come from a challenging, in my mind, I'm number one. I know how to be number one. In my subtle way, I'm a number one dude, right? So when you challenge me like that, I had to give it back to you. You get what I'm saying? Oh, you want this? You think you really ready to taste it? All right, that's what you want to do? And I asked him, because I don't want to do this with you. Said it like 4-5 times in front of him and Yandy. I don't want to do this, y'all sure? And that's how we got where we at.
So now that we're watching the season, listen, bravo. Listen, I said this to Scrap and Erica and Diamond and Bambi and Mama D, and I'll say this to the two of you. I am falling back in love with the show, because I did feel at one point it went through this weird transition where it was like, who are you people? I don't get this, whatever. And I'm loving this season. I feel like it's the real is coming back, like real conversations, real moments. And you two have been the staple on the show. So kudos to the two of you. Outside of that,
saying that, stop kissing ass. They are not the staple of Love and Hip Hop. Stop saying that. It's not true. No matter how many times you try to build that fucking bridge and not get over it, it's not going to make it the truth. Stop saying that. Stop being fake, Carlos.
You guys have so many businesses.
That's another reason why I ain't got time for the fuck shit.
Well, no, listen. I'm going to brag for y'all. Y'all got to say it. You two are very wealthy.
Thank you.
And you two keep it quiet, which is a great thing, because what it shows is you aren't doing it to show off. You're doing it to do what we're learning at our big age, which is setting up generational wealth.
So much so.
Investment and property.
Yes.
Now, I want to get into this too. Talk about your businesses. And are one of these keys my late birthday gift? So I just is it the Audi? Is it the Lamborghini?
I didn't care about this part at all.
Is it the...
Moving on.
I know how hard it is for people to do reality television. And I know how hard it is for people to succumb to like the pressures of the audience commentary. And I wanted to use my platform to create a safe space for my friends in the industry to talk to somebody that has a mainstream platform where you can just express how you feel and really show people who you guys are outside of the show.
Right.
And when I saw the documentary called The Journey, it really did a wonderful job at setting up like who Kirk was before he even met Rasheeda. You got the brat in it. You got so many like names in it who are really speaking to his character and his business acumen. And then in the middle of it, Rasheeda's introduced, and you get to see like this skinny, beautiful girl just trying to like make it and being on stage and really being the mouth of the South. And that to me is what is important. And what I am so grateful for is the fact that you two have not changed at all. I've known you guys for like 15 years. You two are still the same humble people who have not let the genre of reality television or the comments to change you guys as people. You have never fully crashed Kirk comments, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
But,
you don't never see me.
No, you don't.
Because that just ain't me.
Out. Yeah. And the fact that you allowed yourself to say, I'm dealing with this. I am going to deal with this in the way where God speaks to me, not other people. And that to me is a testament to that. And the fact that you two are honestly super smart when it comes to business. And you two honestly represent a lot of Black love stories. It may not be the story that we think we want, because a lot of people don't want to really talk about the trauma.
They don't.
And not every relationship needs to be traumatic. Let's be clear.
It doesn't.
But you changed me today when you said the difference between Kirk and maybe what other women dealt with is at the end of the day, there was one woman he slept with. He had a baby by. And I saw that he tried to really win me back. I saw the effort and the fact that you sat back and you chose to save your family because that's what's important to you. And I think we as a community, we have to stop judging people who choose to be in situations that work for them. This may not work for you.
No, absolutely. And it may not work. And another thing I say about people too is like, everybody has a different breaking point in their life and they go through their situations all so differently. At the end of the day, when you sit back and you're actually a person in it and you looking at other people, it's like, it's really not for me to judge, because if I haven't been through that or if I haven't touched on that, how can I say what I would do? And this is me looking at other people's situations. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So but our people think different. You know what I'm saying? This generation is a whole nother kind of ball game. But that's really like the gist of the whole thing. Like, everybody makes different decisions. Everybody's breaking point is going to be different. Everybody's going to deal with situations in different kind of ways. It's really not for us to judge. We can have our opinions. It's all fine. But to ridicule somebody for making a decision,
I understand it.
No, I understand it. And it's good entertainment when people say their little comments and do whatever they do. That's all fine and good.
We don't care.
But it taught me a very, 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 very tough lesson. Like, it can make me sad thinking about it, because like I came this close to like losing my best friend, and that shit, I'll say it again, it was torture. Like, like when I tell you, the day she finally spoke and said something to me, it was because of business related issue. And when I tell you, that's when the light came on, because like a year, I just stayed and came as much as I can to get the kids, pick them up from school, do whatever she needed, I did. Like, I just stayed and stayed and stayed and stayed. And then one day she said something to me business related, and I just was like, ding.
Because I'm a little hard. Like, I cut you off, I cut you the fuck off.
I got a
like
chance.
That's my thing. That's why I have such a short tolerance for bullshit. And I am loyal to like,
you have a small tolerance for bullshit, but you still with Kirk. Okay.
People who I love. Like, I'm real and I'm loyal, and that's just is what it is.
You're not real and you're not loyal.
And Spice, love her to death.
Love me.
Spice went through some health situations. She was out the country. My offer was, and this is to her friend at the time, what does it cost to fly her back? We'll write the check today. You know why? Because she's a friend. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to let that happen. You get what I'm saying? I don't care what it takes. We're going to get her back here. I don't give a fuck if we had to break the bank. We're going to get her where she can be on American soil.
To try to get the best help that she can get.
We ain't worried about it. Like, that's, we in the real world here with not the other shit, right? just like if somebody was gonna fight Mendici or Yandy, I'm not gonna stand around and let nothing happen to him.
I mean, I might go. Okay, let me open.
I mean, I feel like we grown
so
enough
corny.
where we can.
No, but I'm not
You
that
guys
person.
listen. I always tell reality stars on ensemble shows. You guys are a dysfunctional family.
No, that's so true.
And only y'all get it.
Only us get it.
Only y'all get it. Who's in that? Only y'all get it.
Yes.
Do y'all get the Bambi being a rapper thing though? Do y'all get that?
Let me tell you this.
Bambi's a stallion, but
no Megan. Okay, now what I will say is this.
They say okay. I want the.
Don't do that.
Okay.
I got a good little chuckle. I was shocked.
But
I did chuckle.
Because you know, I told Rasheeda, I see what she probably got mad at because I was like, oh no, I didn't realize. I forgot the cameras was on me. I was just being Kirk.
I'm sorry.
But I didn't throw no shade. But you know, Bambi, I'm not gonna front. I like Bambi. And then we like, because there was Amy and her with the diss record, and me and Rasheeda was the one saying, oh, it's just a diss record. Put that out.
Yeah.
Oh, so she might
like Spice, make your money. Make your
it.
money. I'm telling Spice Girl, what we ain't gonna do is do a whole album and then say fuck it over some drama.
So
you're gonna get your coin back.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all motherfuckers think this record is okay. Well, let me show y'all this. So
Right.
I think, you know,
but never at one time I've never said anything bad or
cool.
you know, I honestly speaking, I really have a lot of love for Bambi. You know, and one thing about me and Kirk is when her and Scrappy were going through their problem. I love Sierra.
I like Rennie. I
like Rennie
of
too.
course, y'all Scrappy.
Yeah, that's family.
Yes, of course. I mean, that's like decades and
Carly is even cool, even though people think she ain't.
Carly is harmless and she understands her role.
She do.
Carly is really.
She understands the assignment, baby.
Carly has one job.
Yes,
and my girl does it well.
She does,
and nobody takes it personally. It's like that's Carly.
That's Carly.
And I have a new little favorite too. The model. What's her name?
Jessica. I like Jessica.
I like Jessica too.
I like her coming off the cusp. I be like, you better say that.
I like her. So there's love in there. It's not like
it's a great cast.
Yeah. I have love for Yandy and Mendici too. I'm not gonna act like I'm just.
I know it's a dysfunctional family.
It is.
They're gonna clap back at you after this.
Of course they are, but
no,
it all works,
baby. Listen,
it all works in the house.
It does. The hamster wheel. It doesn't matter. We can sit here and say everything right, and there's something wrong with it. So it don't matter.
It's all good.
But this is what I will say. I really have this spot for Bambi because me and Kirk was so instrumental in trying to help her and Scrappy, you know, work their marriage out. Like we was literally like their therapist for a long time, like sitting on the phone with them, really just, you know, hoping that it would work, you know, because it's difficult. You know, it's not always easy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, you know, for her to, you know, she's been through a divorce, you know, maybe she just like, I'm just doing me. You know, and do you, but you know, we ain't got to do all that.
I did tell Rasheeda though, I think she needs to change up a little bit. And I hate to say it,
me?
You do.
Why? Because I don't.
Because if everybody goes back and watch Love and Hip Hop, they can actually watch everybody interchange partners.
I mean, I can't.
I've been riding on the same penis
for
the whole motherfucking time.
We watch.
That's enough. It ain't really nothing more I can say about this. This interview really was a waste of my time, and it really didn't do nothing but solidify the reasons why I don't like neither one of these people. I can't stand Kirk. I can't stand Rasheeda. I don't like now one of them, and it is what it is. They're fake as fuck. They're phony. They're corny as hell, and that's it. That's it. And it pays to be likable. And these two right here are not likable. And the fact that people really believe that they are couple goals for anyone is really a mess, and it goes to show you how fucked up the dating pool is. But Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is about to come on in 1 minute. So y'all will see me in about an hour for my Love and Hip Hop Atlanta live review. We had almost 400 people up in here tonight. Let's hope we get the same amount of people for the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta review. But y'all, I'm out of here, and I will see you guys then. Check out Tramel's new album, Lost and Found. It's out on all streaming platforms, as well as Carl's new album, Throw Factory, is out on all platforms. Check out Tramel's current single, which is called Nobody. It's out right now. The video is out. It's approaching 2,000 views, so make sure you guys go and tune into that. And Carl's new single, current single is Cock Goblin, and the video is still out. His next single, Cannot Be, featuring Miss JT, is coming out soon. I was in the video. Bando was in the video. Jamar was in the video. We were all in the video. Great video, by the way. I can't wait for y'all to see it. And I'm out here, y'all. Bye.
On some whole shit. What happened to the Zeus fame? Then Bobby made you change your name. For a show, still searching for a ring. Pray these hoes find better days. Cut off everybody. Don't trust nobody. Play with everybody. Don't have nobody. Cut off everybody. Don't trust nobody. Play with everybody. Don't have nobody. Nobody. Nigga never was a real one. Copping, please, spreading lies. What you hiding from? All these shows just an extra.
Little dance now, twerking on shit like
bad bitch, munch it up, cock goblin. Slapping ass on this dick, cock goblin. Gobble up his dick, bitch, a cock goblin. Fuck him in his face, bitch, a cock goblin.
attitude bad, but I'm better.